Welcome to part 1 of my 7-part series going over every Titan's interaction with every other Titan. Episode 1, Ion. Right now Ion is a very strong Titan, with an ability that's, alright, a core that's, pretty good, a defensive that's like, hey man, that's nice, and an ordnance that is literally a plasma railgun. On your shoulder. That's hit scan, and charges instantly. So let's start off with some good things to know about Scorch. 1. Vortex Shield stops Flame Wall. Number 2. Laser Core destroys Flame Shield.
Firing Laser Core.
In this fight, feel free to start with 2 laser shots. You're not going to be needing the rest of your energy, because there's nothing from Scorch you can catch. Tripwire is bad against Scorch, and you're never going to be splitting your splitter rifle, because laser shot does more damage. Stay clear of his flame traps as much as you can, and keep your distance so that he can't dash into you with his flame shield. If you need to use your core, you can. But in this situation, it's not really necessary. Scorch is a big fat Titan. It's going to be hard for him to avoid a core. Don't be thirsty for executions there. Most people would just run in at that moment. But you will take damage from Flame Wall, or Flame Shield, if you do. Next up is Northstar, and there's only one good thing to know when it comes to the Northstar fight, and that is that your laser shot does not have an infinite range. It has a range of 76.2 meters, and that's a lot, but on some maps it's noticeable. So your laser shot does not have infinite range. As an Ion, you're basically better than Northstar in almost every conceivable way. You should be focusing on consistent damage and constant damage. Northstar has no defensive abilities, so there's nothing you're going to have to worry about on that front. That's why you should just be doing damage wherever you can. When it comes to defending yourself against Northstar, it can prove a little bit tough and energy consuming. After the first time, it can be hard judging exactly when a Northstar is going to fire her shot, because she won't fire it the second it's powered up if you catch it the first time. Because of this, don't just spam your Vortex Shield and hope to be able to catch a plasma railgun shot. Keep your focus on damage. You can do more DPS than she does, and you have more health than she does. Just try to focus on doing damage to her. Now, if there's a Northstar trying to peek snipe you from a corner or over a wall, it is not your job to stand there and get into a peek snipe fight with a Northstar, the sniper Titan. What you should do is reposition and try to get a better view of the Northstars so that you can hit them more. Don't let the Northstar pick the encounters you get into. And now it's time for Tone. Tone's main source of damage comes from her rockets. You have an ability which perfectly counters those rockets, and as an upside, also does that damage back to the Tone on some occasions. So obviously, you should be focused on catching those rockets and throwing them back. This negates a lot of damage that you would otherwise be taking, especially without cover, and can deliver some of it back. However, some Tones are smart, and they will learn after the first time you catch their rockets that you are trying to catch their rockets. They will be a little bit more reluctant to fire them at you for this reason. At close to medium ranges, it can be hard to react to the rockets coming your way. So sometimes, fighting a Tone can turn into a mind game. When should I fire my rockets? When will I be able to catch his rockets? I'll be going over this on the Tone's perspective when I do a Tone video next week, but as an Ion, you should be focusing on using your Vortex Shield and keeping at least half of your energy dedicated to it. If a Tone isn't firing her rockets at you, use some different abilities. Maybe use a laser shot so they think you're not using your Vortex Shield anymore. Use your splitter rifle a little bit, but make sure you have energy to spare for your Vortex Shield to catch those rockets. Now that all may be ridiculously easy, but there is still one good thing to know about Legion. And that is that even when his gun shield is up, you can still fire bullets back at him. There is a small vent still visible. Aim your bullets at that, and it will do considerable damage. The next one up is Ion, and there are multiple ways to do this fight by peeking and using Vortex Shield, but I'm going to show you the best way to do this fight. That method is just laser shot. Bam, bam. Keep laser shotting. Don't focus too much on your splitter rifle. Laser shot does more damage. It always does more damage. If you have entangled energy, use your splitter rifle to get some energy back. This fight is about DPS, not defense, so using your Vortex Shield is only a waste of energy. Keep in mind, there's nothing you can throw back at this Titan, so that's half of Vortex Shield's use gone. Next up is Ronan, and this one gets a little bit interesting. This is one of the two fights that Ion is not favored in, the other being Ion. Laser tripwire is your friend, and so is electric smoke. Don't be afraid to use them here just because they're not as good against normal Titans. Against a Ronan that's rushing you very hard, they're very good. Again, of course, laser shot is your friend. You only really need like 4 or 5 of them to bring a Ronan really, really low. So as long as you can hit a few of those, you should be fine. Just don't miss them like me, because I'm bad. Because I played this clip somewhat poorly, I actually lose about a bar more than I should have in this fight. And that concludes Ion vs. the World, the first video in my 7-part series about all of the Titans and the way they interact with each other. Keep in mind, I'm not going very in-depth here, and there's more than one way to fight a Titan. Later, I'll be going over the more complex fights, helping you deal with the delicate interactions of Titan combat. The next video is on Scorch, coming next week. Stay tuned.